and you're currently watching TV5. Over the year 2021, Malaysia has encountered extreme weather conditions all around the regions, including flash flood and thunderstorm. Climate change has becoming an alarming concern not just in Malaysia but all around the world, as this is our second warmest year. To hear more about this climate issue, we have Mr. Arif, Ms. Reshna and Ms. Divya from Center for Environment, Technology and Development Malaysia set them to shed more light on this topic. Ms. Divya, we are very glad to have you with us today.
Good morning, Miss Aishwarya. It's good to be here.
Ms. Divya, what do you think was the root cause of problem of extreme climate changes happening in Malaysia?
It's simple. Carbon emission. Too much of carbon emission in the air has heated up the planet, causing the temperature to rise significantly.
No wonder we are having frequent heat waves. Why is that so?
Well, if we look into Malaysia, fossil fuel is heavily used for energy input in power station, where it is used to produce heat, electricity and power for various purposes. The larger the energy is needed, the larger the amount of fossil fuel burn, causing higher rate of carbon emission.
Is there any way we could deal with this issue? Maybe Mr. Arif could shed some light?
Government need to start the first step that will become the foundation. Introduce the decarbonisation policy that aim to reduce carbon by 2050. The policy help to provide a consistent roadmap towards the mission with a clearer expression on the strategies reflecting a macro level commitment to climate exchange and further attract the International Green Fund because investment matters in this effort. With a clear basis, definition, step, economy and tax overview, sustainability concept introduced in this policy, it will help boost the green initiative. Why government first? Best example because when digital economy policies was being introduced, then the technology startups spring up like mushroom in Malaysia.
What are the action plan under this policy?
Looking at the current situation and how critical it is, carbon emission will be a great focal point to massively reduce carbon. It is understood that power generation industries like TNB uses thermal energy from combustion of fossil fuels. In fact, a great alternative that I would personally suggest is using heat waste by installing heat recovery systems that captures heat waste from industrial processes. It is indeed a much better alternative of thermal energy to generate electricity, and it will massively reduce the scale of fossil combustion in a shorter time frame, which is in line with the policy suggested by Mr. Arif on decarbonization.
Where will the heat waste be obtained from, and has there been any initiative as mentioned by you?
A great example will be cement production industries, ceramics and so on. Yes, a cement production company has collaborated recently with TNB to supply heat waste. Hence, I do believe implementing a policy as suggested by Mr. Arif will be influential and highly encouraging to get more companies and industries on board. However, a short-term action alone will not be enough to reach the objective rooted from the policy. Larger initiatives with bigger impacts in the long run should be considered as well.
I do agree with Ms. Reshna on formulating a long-term initiative to drive the policy. The focus in long term should be attaining net carbon zero, which can be done using carbon capture and storage (CSS) technologies. The process of capturing carbon dioxide in the air and storing it greatly reduces carbon emission. However, Malaysia is still at the early development stage to embrace CSS. Many people are quite unaware of what is CSS actually. So I believe that once awareness is reinstated, people will be more willing to be involved in such initiative, speeding up the process. Another way is collaborative focused research and development of CSS technologies. Having a wide-scale research partner between industries and also between countries will improve financing capability and prepare better conceptual design of CSS technology deployment in Malaysia.
That sounds like a plan. How do you expect to market this policy?
We grab public and world attention and provide clarification through press conference. Then we aim BOD participation in seminar with industry to ensure in-depth discussion on the initiative because they are the one with corporate level decision. Since the strategies might be expensive, tax authority can be the middle person promoting these green efforts by providing various tax incentives.
Thank you, Mr. Arif, Ms. Divya and Ms. Reshna. Well, that is it for today. Stay tuned for more after this break.